Greetings, and welcome to this evening's stream. I am your host, Lilim Nightshade. And as usual, I'll be playing the Front Mission First remake, trying to get through the next couple of missions, as I seem to be able to do about 2 battles per stream, it seems, in the minute time I have. Usually takes about an hour to clear a map, depending on various factors. So that is what I'm expecting today. We did obtain a couple new characters last week. I did do some very minimal preparing for them. I only basically gave them new parts and weapons, but I didn't do too much of an investment because I do not even know what the priority limit is going to be for deployment right now, so they may not even get used. And from what I recall, they are not the best of characters anyway, so I prefer to use the characters who are actually good. Also, greetings QC. And greetings to Beyond as well. Let me just make sure I have items equipped to everyone. It's interesting how it shows so many slots on this screen, but most pilots only have 4, maybe 5 slots at most that they can actually equip. But I assume with a big enough backpack, you might be able to go all the way down to the bottom of the screen. Maybe 8 slots, I think. I think they're decently enough equipped. Well, greetings, Caesar. Forget if I saw what the next mission was yet or not. Well, I do not see any way to talk to the commander. So I'm assuming we already got the mission, we just have to deploy. You have a new question of the day? I would not be surprised. It's like we're in the middle of a desert here. I don't see anyone. What food would you eat on Thanksgiving next Thursday? Do you really want to know what I'm going to be eating? Or are you sure you can handle that information? I may be eating legs, but they may not be turkey legs. They could be someone else's legs. Oh, they're digging out of the ground. That is interesting. I did not remember that detail. Well, that would be the tradition. Eating Cersei would be the normal thing to do on a Thanksgiving. So if I did that, I would just be following the proper practice and procedure for the day. So I only can deploy 5? That's more limited than any of the battles previously. I definitely cannot use my new members. And I have to be careful on the fire deploy. Hopefully these are all good units. Sounds like I'm massively outnumbered here. I never said that. There's a 9 units. It's by 5. That's not that bad, actually. Though it does depend on what kind of units they are. Meant for his missile arm is. And unfortunately, we'll follow that mist. Food defeats the purpose. Oh, he has gun arms. Interesting. It's rare to see missiles able to counterattack with guns. They usually just have fist weapons. That's all I can do from this distance. If then this might be a problem, so they've done hardly any damage at all to even one unit before their turn. Guard and hope for the best. Well, that did a lot of damage guarding. These enemies are way stronger than the previous ones. This is going to be a problem for sure. And they can travel long distances. I mean, they can potentially take out a unit before I can do much to heal if I get unlucky. The fact that they're going to use 5 units when the enemies are this powerful is very bad. Especially since I like to gang up on a single unit. I ganged up on 1 unit and I couldn't even do anything. Cyberbots. Cyberbots is a fighting game, though. This is a role-playing game. That would have a little better. I'm not gonna survive this entire onslaught. I might have been... Maybe a mistake to use Ryuji for this. It's going down far too quickly. I need to repair M for him. That's hardly enough. Very well. Everyone else is doing fine. It's just Ryuji that is the weak link here. If I have to restart this mission, I suppose I'll just not pick him. Not sure the supply truck can actually guard. He's gonna get blown up easily. There's no way to protect the supply truck in this mission. I have no choice whether to deploy or not. It's force deployed. But it's unprotectable in this environment when you're surrounded and in terrain that has no cover or anything for mobility to hinder mobility. Like, sure, I guess I could technically surround the supply truck to make it a little harder, but then my own units will just be destroyed, and I'm not in good position to fight back. Rather than trying to break their parts to get experience points, I'm just going to go for quick kills when I can. Just to reduce their numbers. Feels like the only viable way to approach this. Except in this case, because the arm is so low. Never mind. He missed anyway. That was a waste. Go ahead and you do it. It'd be nice if someone could finish this enemy off. But that is not the case. So it can still attack me. Wonderful. The answer to do was take out his legs. Not very useful. I have no way of repairing any lost body parts in this fight either, which makes this a little bit more annoying. Of course, they're all gonna gang up on Ryuji because Ryuji is the weakest here. For me. Nowhere for me to go. That did nothing. Yuji's usually a better attacker at least. Well, it's very disappointing. I guess I should have used items like that. Did not think to do that. I never think to do that because I'd rather attack, especially with fewer numbers. A turn wasted to use a status item that may not work just does not feel like a good idea. Great, yes, switch. No worry, I will not be using missiles on you guys. I need to get switch on my units. Boy, she should be the one that does it. Just because of positioning. There we go. You can reach different unit. Like this one. Or just entirely miss everything. And that was the higher accuracy weapon, 90% accuracy. And he whiffed every single shot. My mistake. Almost. There's no way Ryuji makes it out of this alive. Everything is targeting him. Verity's doing its job, though. At first it did not, but now it is. I probably should have counterattacked that one. That was a mistake. Just so used to instinctively using guard. That acid farm really does work. He doesn't have one now. Love Finn if sudden this chance base is stunned. Especially how stun does not seem to work very well in this game. Oh, a defensive strategy does pay off somewhat. As does being more direct from my attacks. Brain just guarded and did not attack back. I'm not used to the AI guarding. They must always counterattack. At this point, I think I should just shoot back. Well, that started out like a disaster, but ended up not being so bad once they all came to me. Not sure what changed, but the beginning of it, they were a lot stronger, and then they seemed to get weaker as it went on. Perhaps I'm just bad luck with the RNG. Not sure why they were stuck in the middle of the desert in the first place. Then let's save. This is not an actual town. There's no bar or arena. We can still shop. So I suppose I'll see if there's anything new. I guess the plot is that he is the one from the town we just came from. He's having a temporary mobile shop. We do have a few new bite part types. Differences are small though, for the most part, so probably not worth worrying for parts. I have a hard time believing that to be overwhelmingly good weapons. Oh, this is pretty. It's slightly stronger. Because 4 times 15 would be 60. And 3 times 19 would be 57, I believe. And more shots is generally better because the more you fire out there, the more chances something is past the hit. We'll see base accuracy too. So out of 4 shots, on average, 3 of them should hit. Whereas this one, you're only not guaranteed anything, but you might only get 2 hitting. Nothing worthwhile upgrade. Anyone using the part then. None of the cemetery. P is the cemetery, yes. Oh, I see the hot dog and the flamethrower. Still the raptor. Oh, she doesn't have enough weight capacity for those. Remains the same. I'm just there this one way. Still too much. I'll need to reduce her weight first, so that she can hold a better weapon. Don't want to mess with these for too long, though. One thing I do need to do is give Ryuji a healing item back. And in general, to stop buying the repair asses because I do have enough HP on the parts at this point that S just does not restore anything worthwhile. But when they first introduced the N, it was overkill for pretty much any part of the body. Even the main body, which has the most. So I was kind of holding off on using others, just using S to restore it a little bit. We take, more anti-aircraft units. There's just some sort of cannon. Looks like they have a named unit this time. This might be like the first named boss we had in one of these briefings. We've seen named bosses just show up in non-brief missions. Especially whole group of named portrait units. But the ones in briefs are usually just generic commander. Okay, that told me nothing about the mission. It just showed a picture of some sort of canning muffin thing. But he didn't tell me what I was supposed to do. Starting to think you're not that great of a commander. Like in earlier missions, he was giving details of, what's supposed to be happening. Which also serves as a good way to inform the plot of the game. To follow along with. But here it just says, here's a picture of some stuff. Figure out yourselves. Not too happy about that. But I suppose I shall see how this plays out. Okay, that makes more sense then. The briefing he just sent me had nothing to do with what I was doing. It was a fake out. I guess I can excuse him giving me no information, if it wasn't a real mission anyway. Says no, he instantly says, change of plans, here's what you're actually gonna do. So we're gonna locate and capture deserter. I think I know what character that is, actually. And I believe one of our characters is looking for that character. And it's at her point. She recognizes right away. So I'm pretty sure that my suspicion was correct, and that is her brother. Wait for the rest of the unit. Words are obvious. Hey, now we're back to 10. Well, obviously, it's not even an option for her. She's automatically deployed, which is fine. For story reasons, I would not leave her out of the fight. That is to rescue her brother. That would be silly. Get our long-range units. You can. So we do have to take one of these bad units. I'm go with this one. Though the deployment limit stays at 10. Once we rescue her brother, then we can just use him as the 10th unit. And avoid disaster altogether. Kiss Yi Hin. Suppose she does not get a turn in the first turn. Oh, she's a guest character in this battle. You cannot control her actions. Guess that makes sense. That's why she was not on deploy screen. To chase her down. Honestly, she only joined the group to find him. So it's gonna be her focus, not helping us. So our priority here is just to destroy everything else so they cannot harm him. Ironically, I can reach it before she can anyway, despite her having a head start. There's no injuries. Let me go. Mash. One more out. Has pointed their position. Guri has no movement. He is so slow. I did effectively track her in so she cannot get herself killed. For soldiers that had the orders to take us and him out, they are certainly very passive. Unlike the last battle. They're not moving at all, just hanging back and waiting for... Which is very, considerate of them. Okay, I don't want to advance too far. That will advance far enough that I can shoot something. No? Okay, maybe not. How much coverage does space have? A little bit. Doesn't that feel like it does much work going that way, though? You shoot from here? Unfortunately, no. Instead of not exposing to too many attacks. They can all reach that spot. He can shoot with missiles there, but it's less of a concern. Just because they sat back and wait patiently last time does not mean that they were going to do it this time. I didn't even see that one over there. Not what I expected. But walk up next to a unit but shoot a different one. That is an interesting choice. Technically, we were already regrouped since I moved all my units in front of her anyway. And the game does not assume that you're outsmarted. Might be line of sight in this game because he's definitely close enough to hit stuff from there. So I'm assuming the tree is blocking it. I am surprised that worked. Only if you didn't more often I cannot reach for an attack. Just throw smoke grenades. Not sure how well this will work. Sort of ranged attack. Not what I want. Sure, I can't step down one. This is not valid terrain. If I knew that, I would have went a different way in the first place. Turing used that through a tree. I doubt it. Nothing I can do with that turn. Oh, I have controller for now. Fair enough. Not too certain that I can do anything with that turn right now. Suppose no should have planned for assistant. Fro can be used. It definitely was not a good move. Chef came in handy. Okay, he shot with the worst weapon. That was fortunate for me. Of course, if it hit, that would have been terrible. But the fact it's only one attack, and then I had good odds of evading damage. Because guard does not only reduce damage, I believe it also increases your evasion. Which is the reason why I pick it all the time. Looks like we are heading to ad break. I need to step away briefly while the ads are running, but I shall return before they finish. The head should be finishing up shortly, so I shall resume. Once again, Ryuji taking way more damage than he should. gonna want the same thing that happened to Keith to happen to JJ. But the best option really is to attack that commander. I'm gonna take a gamble on the Flame Fox, because if it hits, it can completely disable one of his arms. It did not. We'll use a shield against missiles for him at least. Some Quantum supply truck? Not sure which arm he's punching with, but I'll take the weaker one. On the off chance it's this one, I can stop it. It was not. I figured it was unlikely to be that one, but I had to take the chance. But if hit him in the body again, that would have been more helpful. Whereas don't let me pick the weapon. Don't think that's kind of a ranged attack. was hoping she would break the arm so we wouldn't get to attack. A lot of units right there. I didn't know those hit. I suppose not the idea to attack short range once in a while. Unless all your attacks miss. Now concerned this might unstun him. Possibly did not, Luis. It broke his main weapon, so I think that's still a win. It is sometimes funny when double activates more than one time, so you end up having like 3 or 4 hits with double. Yeah, I saw that coming. Earthquake is his last melee skill. Trance is one of the better ones. Stun is kind of useless, but unless you get very lucky. But double and first are paramount to make your melee units not completely terrible. Another wife. Every time I try to attack, their counter sets them up so the next enemy attack just destroys them. Even though they're perfectly fine before I attack them. The RNG in this battle has been very bad. For some reason I thought his arms were broken. Probably lose another unit there. New Hikora double kicks in twice. Premier spam bot. Can surprisingly worked out. That for sure things have gone worse. A somewhat risky move, but with the dual skill, this may work out. And remind, it did not work out. Forgot how incompetent my attackers are sometimes. His spell's been going on long enough. I should probably stop experience leeching. This biggie hit the supply truck. But if on a spot where Candace applied shrug does not seem me possible. Do not worry, they will simply execute him. No, of course not. Despite the first battle being pretty short, so it's not quite 9 o'clock yet, I doubt I have time for another mission tonight. But I assume if I go to the military ward, It should officially have him join. But usually how you talk to your superior. I doubt he'll run from his sister. They might run away together, but he's not gonna ruin his end. Why does he has to think for Natalie? You're the one that recruited them. Okay, now the story is starting to get thicker. Now, what did that tell you about Olsen? Of course, you can trust no one, especially in a war game. But we have a new ally that has practically nothing on him, so I have to spend a lot of time actually outfitting him. Perhaps we'll do that now, since I have some time on the stream to kill. It's actually relatively simple to do. I'm guessing up to just be your standard long and short range unit. Let's think. I can see Strega arms. Oh, those are heavy. But I guess they all are compared to what he had on the 4. He has 30 weight arm. Let me save the arms for later. Then he has CPU that's good for both long and short. Which honestly, this one is that. But his current one is better for long. Where do we hands on? This way. Maybe I'll leave that alone. Considering Wong is the better attribute for him, I think. Let's get him some weapon. Is now on that shoulder. Not terrible. But we can do much better. Use this on one shoulder. Sure, might have for any other weapons. He's are equal of a weight. Sanitary tenant, the best I can give. It's not that either. It's an option. And can we upgrade this shoulder without putting him overweight? Slightly, but not significantly enough. If I could reduce his weight, I'd love to give him the Slain Missile Watcher on the other shoulder. Or it might be the best upgrade I can do without going overweight on everything. Charm was it? Yes. You need 2 of those. I do need to give him items though. That should be sufficient. I'll sub the rest of the characters and upgrade their stuff in their time. So, Dad's very entertaining to watch me go through and upgrade every single character's equipment to figure out the optimal configurations. Let me preview the next mission before the ad hits, just to see what I think of it and how long it might be. I'm not necessarily gonna fight it, unless it looks simple. Oh, this is the Kirkland one that they told us about before and didn't give us any information on. So this one's not very sure at all. Because Kirkland's a significant character. So I doubt I can take him down by blitzing him. Interesting. Forgot about that. He's the superior officer. The way Discroll acts, you would think Discroll's the one who's the highest in command. But it's one of those cases of the one pulling the strings is not technically the leader, but he'll try to manipulate the people in charge to get his way. Execute our orders are not clear. We're never given any orders. guess we're at the siege of this heavily fortified. Okay, but they're getting us doors now. Destroy the 3 main guns. So I do have to sort of blitz this. I only have 9 this time anyway. So I have no need to use my new unit. Does not mean I will not, since I'm not actually fighting this yet. What are they doing? Flying new... I suppose they go first? Interesting. These are the guns we have to destroy. Lots of health. But they can only fire range of 6 to 9. So if you get within 6 tiles, they can do nothing to you. Have to be mindful of their range, which doesn't show in a very easy manner. But I assume the mission ends if I destroy the guns. I don't necessarily have to destroy the actual enemy units. Potentially. So I'm gonna have to deal with Kirklands. Those are 2 of them there, and 1 is in the back, I believe. Which seems very useless. For them anyway. Obviously, if somebody was approaching from behind, this would have to turn around. I assume it can go 360 degrees. So it could definitely do a 180 and fire behind itself, if necessary. So I assume this is close enough. But I cannot attack from there. So that's probably not the way to go. I think to get inside the fortress. It does not appear as though you can attack the guns from outside because of the elevation. You'd have to like just walk right up to it or something. Which can be a difficult part because if you're not careful, you're gonna find yourself in a situation where you're gonna walk into an attack rate. You can go multiple directions, obviously. Like go up this way. Or charge in the front. And the units are positioned in an odd way that encourages splitting up like that. But that's usually not the best way to fight. You generally want to keep your units together just because you do not want a single unit getting ganged up on. Where'd Kirkland himself go? Is he even part of this fight? Well, he's already all the way in the back there. I have suspicion that once I destroy the 3 main guns, the battle just changes anyway. I need to fight Kirkland regardless. This is a matter of planning your moves so you are not in attack range when you end your turns. And then just go up to an attack afterward. Which is pretty easy, like I said. It only goes up to 9 panels. So as long as you're 10 or further away, you can get to it. And my units all move between 14 to 18 movement a turn. So getting in that like 10 to 14 range to stand outside of it and just walk up to it makes it seem like a simple matter. And there's only a few guards. Initial part. The only problem I can foresee is going this way allows this cannon to strike on you as you're trying to get a position, if you're not careful. Whereas if I go this way, I have the same problem with this cannon. Somewhat, but not as much, since you can probably just skid along the inside of this wall more easily. And I hope you're supposed to do that with this one too, but it just feels like this has a better read on you. I could be imagining that though. It's from the state in the battle, so I don't have to redeploy. Cause I might just go with its lineup after all. We'll see. But that is for another time, which unfortunately will not be next week, as next Thursday is going to be Thanksgiving, so we will be occupied by obligations and will not be able to stream more than likely next week. So you will have to wait 2 weeks to see the next mission in this game. But we will have our regular Saturday stream with Cersei trying to make more progress toward the end of Trails to Azure. That is probably 2 streams from finishing. Unless she gets really lucky and beats it all on this Saturday, but that seems unlikely. The final dungeon will probably take 2 whole streams to get through, just because it is so long. So let us see who is streaming at the moment. Looks like we have Diz, as per usual. Very common person to be streaming in this time slot. So I'll send the raid over to him. And I will see you all in 2 weeks, I suppose.